Okay, so guys, I am here with KCS Games, and I still can't believe this. So he ended up topping with the build that you see in front of you here today. And my first thought was oh that's crazy. It's 2022. That should not happen if we're talking about this. I mean, that's crazy. And then I told my son, and his first reaction was to laugh like I did. And then Casey, his first response was, "Did your opponents know how to play the game?" I'm assuming they all knew how to play, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then he's like, "Well, they must not have been playing good decks." I said, "No, they were playing good decks." And so,
Yep.
Casey, please tell the audience, what decks were you playing?
So round one was branded Despia Predator Plant.
Uh
It's like
huh.
a different variation of branded Despia. It's a very strong deck. Round two was DDD, also a pretty strong deck.
Uh huh.
You'll notice my deck has no hand traps.
Yep.
So beating a board really is reliant on Super Poly against DDD,
Uh huh.
uh, or knowing basically how to play through certain things.
Sure. And then
That's
round three.
round three was Dragon Link. A Dragon Link's pretty easy for this deck,
Uh huh.
just because of certain things that I get extra because of their deck.
Sure.
And then the last round was Flunder.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I told my son what you played, and then Katie, this is verbatim what he said. Casey's just different. Casey's just better. I was
Sometimes.
dying, absolutely dying. I thought that if that doesn't categorize you perfectly. So, I mean, so obviously, looking at your build here, you've got the two dark magicians, and I see why you limited it to two. You need space. That was the first thing I thought when you showed me the complete build here. Of course, you've got the one Dark Magician Girl, but that makes sense for some of the other stuff you've got in the deck. The three
Yes,
Magician's Rod, so
I was gonna
good. Oh, sorry, say that again.
I was gonna touch on Magician Girl real
Oh,
quick.
go right ahead.
Uh, I'm supposed to have her fusion with Tamias in my extra deck, but I don't own one. Um,
Oh,
so she's actually very cuttable for this build. It's just she has some synergy with the field spell. So mainly she's just like an addition. Technically, she's a brick
uh huh.
um, in my
Yes,
build.
if you draw her, yes.
So anyway,
No, no, that makes complete sense. Magician's Rod, which that's been in Dark Magician builds for years, and honestly, guys, when he told me he topped with this today, that's why I started laughing. I see variants of this deck constantly. It's always out there. And I see exactly similar ratios almost to what Casey's got here. The three Magician Souls, that's not uncommon for me to see. But this was interesting. So, Illusion of Chaos. I don't run into this card very often. Casey, explain what it does.
so in every deck other than Dark Magician, it searches strictly Magician Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and you'll see that in like the adventure package and stuff or Eldritch. They use illusion to put a card back and then search out souls, and then souls can send the illusion.
Yeah.
But the catch here is, and honestly, I could probably go down to two on Illusion of Chaos. I just wanted to max out on it for consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But this card has so many different things it actually gets to do inside of Dark Magician. So for one, I think I'm going to bump the spell card that can fusion summon or ritual, the
Mm-hmm.
Secrets of Dark Magic. I think I'm going to bump that to two, because there was times where I wanted to be able to ritual summon Illusion of Chaos.
Okay.
Um, but the whole point here is Illusion of Chaos can search essentially anything in the deck,
Yeah.
which is super strong because you need, consistency. Um, just being able to search the rod for your normal or search your souls for the extra plays is very nice.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he's also a monster negate if he's on the field.
Yes.
So
And he leads to a special, right? Of the Dark Magician himself.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, if, of course, if you have Circle on the field, that leads to a Banish, which is always nice.
Yep.
I see that you've got Timaeus the United Dragon.
Yes.
Why do you decide to play this card?
He's an extender, and he can create Dragoon.
Yeah, and that did it come up today?
Yes, absolutely.
How many times? Like, which matchups did you see this happening with?
I played Timaeus at least once every match.
Wow,
2 out of 3.
wow. Okay, and then it led to you going into a Dragoon.
Either Dragoon or so you can actually fuse, or sorry, you can use it as an extender. I against the Dragonlink player, I used his spheres and 3 of my monsters to make the Underworld Goddess.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay.
He was waiting to use spheres on like when I go to use Timaeus' effect, but I went ahead and just linked off his spheres.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. Great play. Great play. I see you've got the 3 preparation of rights or pre-preparation of rights. Sorry. That makes a lot of sense with you having such synergy here with Illusion of Chaos. Soul Servant, I see this in builds constantly. It's just so good, especially if you're wanting to make the Dark Magicians. Did you use it for that?
The Soul Servant.
Mm-hmm. What did you use it for? I'm just curious.
It felt like cheating. You can top deck any card you need,
Uh-huh.
and then banish this from the graveyard to draw equal to how many Dark Magician and Dark Magician girls you have.
Right,
Or, well,
right. Which is
sorry.
just ridiculous. I mean, the card is just so good. And of course, it's a must, I feel, if you're playing a build like this. I was curious, though, with so much Dark Magician stuff, why 2 circles? Did you just feel that was the right ratio? It
Yeah,
was just so tight.
yeah, it's very searchable. And the card, they don't stack. They don't have any other things. So just putting 2 of that and 2 of the Eternal Souls were good.
Did you ever run into people popping the Eternal Soul, which blew up your board?
Yes. How I dealt with that is, well, we can touch base with it if you want, but that's why I had to use the other floodgates.
Oh,
Just
okay. No,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So you had other options so that in case they blew up Eternal Soul, you could continue to play.
Either that or stop them from playing.
Gotcha. Okay. Then after that, Dark Magic Attack. I'm assuming because of the Eternal Soul, right? Because it's searchable.
Yes, I needed a search target, but also against back row heavy decks, you can actually Soul Servant Dark Magic Attack back on top of your deck from your graveyard.
Oh, wow. Okay, go into that. I didn't know that. Go into that.
Okay, so Soul Servant stacks anything Dark Magician related from your hand, deck, or graveyard on top of your deck.
Oh my gosh.
And then you can banish to draw. Well, the catch here is that so searching Dark Magic Attack is very important off of the Eternal Soul, because you a lot of times need the card to discard.
Uh-huh.
So like that's just a free discard. But on top of that, if you actually need it against back row decks, you can search it out, and it's Harpy's Feather Duster.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that you could do it that way where if you've already used it, you can stack it again. You're correct? Am I understanding you right?
Yes, you can do it up to 4 times.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, for an Eldritch player. Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Circle goes in.
wow, that's amazing. We talked about Secrets of Dark Magic and that you might bump it up to 2, right?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay. And then we've got Magician Salvation. Did this come up?
Yeah, every game.
Oh wow.
You search it. It's one of the first things you search with Rod. So your basic play is normal summon Rod, search Salvation. Salvation sets Eternal Soul from the deck
Mm-hmm.
to the, and so like just in that little thing, I mean you only played one card and you gained 3 essentially. You have a body on field plus the field spell plus the Eternal Soul. If you have a weight of Magician Souls, which most of the time you do, you can go ahead and special out your souls by pinching the Dark Magician from your deck, and then use souls to get rid of navigation or salvation. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you had an additional card to get rid of, you draw 2. But getting rid of salvation at least just draws you to 1. But most importantly, it got the Dark Magician in the grave.
Wow.
And then something cool you can do is, so like let's say you don't have circle, you would just link off the souls and the rod for IP Masquerena, and then on their turn you would Eternal Soul back the Dark Magician, and then you can quick effect make Unicorn on their turn.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. Oh my gosh. So much interruption. It seems like this was a very control based build. Is that what you
Yeah.
were going for, was control?
Yes.
Which with Despia being in the format, I assumed that's one of the reasons for the super poly, or are there targets that's running around that you thought this would also hit?
Well, thanks to Garura being a new card, you can hit most decks now with Super Poly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't know this card until you were showing it to me. I mean, especially where the summoning condition is 2 monsters with the same type and attribute but different
Yep.
names. I thought, oh my gosh, is this super expensive? I'm assuming this card.
It's $8.
Okay, that's not bad right now. Pick them up now,
Right.
guys, before they get too expensive. Especially once
Yep.
this profile goes live.
Oh, it's
It's
not
going to
me.
go up.
Not me. It'd be what the UK Nationals just did. They were all playing it.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense, especially with the format the way that it is right now. 3 super poly does make sense. However, did it ever end up bricking for you in a way? Like you felt like you had
No.
too many super polys in the hand?
I literally had a game where I drew 3 of them and in my starting hand, but because I had access to Magician Souls, I was able to pitch 2 of them to draw
Oh,
and get me back in, and then have the one set so I can interrupt.
wow. Wow. Did you run into any hand traps that stopped you from drawing at times?
So the only one that happened a lot was Ash, and Ash doesn't stop my deck.
Mm-hmm.
It just is a hindrance. It's if I open soft and I have to get a big draw off of Magician Souls, sure, Ash would really hurt. But most of the time, I was never in that situation. Or if I was, I already had like a skill drain or the
Mm-hmm.
ability to stick mine on their turn, kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. The one monster reborn makes sense with the way you were playing control wise. The called by is also such a no brainer. This is always something I feel that needs to be there. The 3 skill drains, and then when he was saying to me terraforming, then he said set rotation, then metaverse. I instantly thought of Secret Village of the Spellcasters, but then he got to the dirty part, the Mystic Mine. It's so Casey, walk me through this, man. What made you think I'm going to combine Mystic Mine with Dark Magician and Skill Drain? And I mean, obviously it worked because you went 4-0. But was this the main purpose? Was to have more of the Mystic Mind control situation? Let your spells go to work for you? And why the Secret Village of the Spellcasters if you have Mystic Mind? To talk about that with me a little bit.
Okay, so first of all, quick little background story for this. The only reason why I built this deck is because one of our guys at the locals said that Dark Magician sucked.
Oh wow! Oh
And so I had
oh
to him.
oh
Um,
oh, guys, you don't want to test this man. Once the brain gets going, I mean, you really don't want to do that.
funny enough, at like maybe 9ish this morning,
Uh huh.
uh, I was watching the Nationals that was happening.
Yes, over in the UK. Yep.
And an Altergeist player
Yeah.
made top cut, and his lineup is very similar to mine on the field spells. I took the idea because I was like, if Altergeist can do it, so can I.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if he was playing Secret Village, but
He
I felt
could
like
because Altergeist are spellcasters. I mean, it could work there.
what I liked the most about that is that Secret Village plus Skill Drain is like almost impossible for decks to out.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I'm
so it
thinking of
just depends.
Despia. How are they going to play? I
Well,
mean,
Despias are spellcasters, but the fact is, with Skill Drain, it really stopped his build because he was on the Predator plants and everything. But that deck loses to spot removal by banishing.
Yeah.
And then also Super Poly is really strong. But just to touch on Skill Drain, I wouldn't have played it if I didn't know this interaction. So if I need to turn Skill Drain off, I can use Magician Soul's effect as a cost to send it from the field.
Oh.
And it'll still involve drawing cards.
Oh, it's so dirty. Oh my god.
Yeah. So with that being the thing, also same for Mystic Mind. So if I was just keeping them at bay and they're just trying to draw an out, if they control a monster, which obviously they would have because Mystic Mind, I would summon Souls and then get rid of my mine if I was ready to play.
I wish you guys could see my face right now. The jaw is literally open over that knowledge. I honestly never thought about that finding ways to turn this off when you need to at any time. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm sure that came up today where there were several times where you just needed to stall. You either had your Skill Drain out or your Mystic Mine out. What was your opponent's reactions when you were unveiling this to them?
They hated it. Dragon Link player I will keep unnamed, but he he literally was so upset, and he's like, I can't believe I lost to an anime deck. That's literally what he said.
Oh my goodness. And guys, when Casey was telling me this, and he's like, "Do you want the profile?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," because the idea of Dark Magician being somehow relevant after receiving this support, I believe back in 2017, I thought it's been 5 years. I mean, they've been trying to build support for this, and yeah, it's had some really decent support, but no one's put anything together that I've faced and thought, oh, that's almost unstoppable. I don't know how I'd get around it. And then I started looking at Casey's build with the Mystic Mine and the 3 skill drains, and I'm like, oh, the spells are going to go to heavy work here. There's a lot that can happen here. And then to hear that you can turn this off at any time, oh my gosh. I mean, that's so good.
I can turn things off. The deck is very consistent thanks to 3 souls, 3 illusion of chaos to get to the souls. Soul Servant to stack and then draw whatever you need, and then the
amazing
the 3 preparation of rights. I want to make sure you have the right one, by the way. This one searches out the illusion.
Okay.
Not prep. So I don't know.
Oh wait, do I have the wrong one?
I have no idea. Earlier you said pre-preparation.
I did just pre-preparation of rights. Do I have the wrong one?
Yeah. It's preparation.
Okay, let me get that out here. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Okay. Just a second, everyone.
Oh, that's right.
No, I want to make sure I have the right one. So it's the one older version, right?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we've got that fixed, everybody. Thank you, Casey. I'm glad you said that. And it makes sense because it's at 1 level 7 or lower. I don't know why I was always thinking level 6 or lower. Maybe it's the decks I was facing. What a main deck, everyone. Now let's go to your extra deck. So you already explained how Underworld Goddess of the Closed World came into effect here. And I love this card because it just shuts off the grave so well. Was it only against the Dragon Link player that you had this come up, or did it come up in other situations?
Idealistically, I had it in there to out big towers like monsters.
Mm-hmm.
As funny enough, Dark Magicians can spam. Um, there's multiple times where I had a board state of 3 or 4 monsters, so I could just use their big towers guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then my board just to out their stuff.
Wow.
So, but the idea is always, to set it up through IP Masquerena if you can.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But
And
it's
then to go
not
into your unicorn play like you were just talking about. Yeah, that just makes so much
one.
sense.
Yeah, you could do it either way. But yeah, just to kind of go through some things. I guess the next questionable card would be Gravity Controller.
Yeah, I literally when you said that to me was laughing. Why is this here? I was very curious.
So if I super poly for Garura, and I'll place it in the extract monster zone,
Uh-huh.
and then when it comes back to my turn, I can link it off for just Gravity Controller to draw a card.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Our Gravity Controller is a dark, so obviously you can super poly with it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a lot. It's just it's mainly if they have like a link monster out after you did that. That's probably the better play. So then you can smack into the monster that's in the other EMZ, and
Okay.
then shuffle it back, and
Nice.
you, before you commit anything.
Oh
So
my
that's
goodness.
that's just the idea behind it. It's not like perfect, but it's something.
I like it. This was interesting. So the World Chalice Dragon, obviously because it just requires one normal monster to summon. Did its effect ever come up though? Where if it's battling something, you get to destroy the monster? Did that ever happen?
No, so what I do is you just need a way to Secrets of Dark Magic.
Uh-huh.
And then usually what happens is, well, I'll just explain it with like I have everything, I guess.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
fine. Go right ahead.
so if I have Circle Up and Eternal Soul, what I can do is, so like idealistically, you're playing on your opponent's turn, you're banishing a card off of Circle. So
Mm-hmm.
you go ahead and link it off for
Okay.
Imduck, and then you go ahead and use your Eternal Soul to bring back the Dark Magician, and then you Circle to banish another card, and then you can play Secrets to make Dragoon,
Oh my gosh.
as Imduck is a dragon.
Wow. Oh, Casey. Oh, I love the build. I can't wait to try this, guys, because I have quite a bit of these cards.
Yep.
Oh, wow. It's so good. So then we've got Celine. I mean, this card is just so good. So many
It's not,
uses.
yeah.
What did you like about this in your build?
So there's actually moments where you want to leave her on the field and use her quick effect to special summon Dark Magician on their turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's if your way to Eternal Soul got stopped, but you still
Oh,
had enough to get monsters on the field.
gotcha.
You could bring it back with Celine and then trigger the circle to banish.
Did that come up today?
Not today, but in testing, I mean, the little bit I did, it was an idea.
Oh, and I like it. Well, it makes complete sense. Now talk about your relinquished play. This was very interesting.
So I was able to steal a Baron with it because they put it in front of the extra monster zone. So I
Were you
made
kind
full,
of chuckling when they did it?
yeah. Anytime they put anything in front of that zone, I'm just like, well, all I need is the souls, and that's my.
Because it's a level one, guys. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Oh
Uh,
man, that's just so interesting to think about. Okay, I was curious here though with Gloomy. Why
okay.
Gloomy?
A lot of decks right now are dark, and so you can steal pretty much anything out of their graveyard, and that'll make a Celine, and then Celine can
Okay.
code.
So it's your way of linking up. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. You said that you never got to the access code talker, and based on this build that you've put together, I mean, I easily see why it's there. It's a great way if you need to have some extra resources and OTK. Do you think you're going to leave it in? Is there anything you'd
Yeah,
cut this for?
you leave it in because you can step ladder pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. let me put it this way. I might have summoned it once. I just don't remember.
So if it wasn't that memorable, then that's
Yeah.
saying to me probably not.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead and let's go through some of these fusions. You've already talked
Okay.
about Garua. Am I saying that
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And I think Mud Dragon of the Swamp makes so much sense because this is an easy card to get out with almost any card. So
Right.
I love that. Let's talk about the Predaplant one though. Why this card?
It's pretty staple for decks now that run Super Poly, because you face a lot of Despia slash
Mm-hmm.
tier limit, the new ones that fuse a lot. Plus, there's like other fusion decks too. And since your stuff's all dark, most of theirs are dark. You can just
Yeah.
use their make this, and then he's a negate.
Well,
So
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, he does have a decent stat line. 2,700 beat stick is not nothing to scoff at. And then, did you use the effect several times today?
it only came up once, and that was against Despia.
Awesome, awesome. Oh man, just love it. I was very surprised that you said you never ended up having Dark Magician the Dragon Knight come out today. Was it just because there was just better options constantly?
Yeah, this is actually the one I'm supposed to cut for the Dark Magician Girl fusion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I just didn't. I didn't have that card,
Oh,
so I
gotcha.
went with this. But it does work. I get that it can protect my Eternal Souls, but it's not. I didn't feel like it was necessary to go into like at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's so interesting. Almost all decks I play, this comes up a lot, but a lot of decks they prefer the Dark Magicians lately. Like I've seen this so many different times that this card comes up. But this is the one you're saying you didn't have for today.
No, I didn't. I have the Dark Magicians. I didn't have the Dark Magician Knight, the Dark Magician Girl plus Tamias. That fusion.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, okay, gotcha.
That's one that I would have played over.
Over this one here, that makes sense.
Although, I mean, you can technically just cut anything. Like you could have cut the gravity controller for that card. Like it's just so situational. And honestly, if you didn't need to draw a bunch off of souls, um, and like other artifacts, you'd probably play Prosperity in this because of how relaxed your extra deck is.
Uh huh.
But yeah, like you definitely want the draw cards. Something that I'm contemplating going forward is Ultimate Slayer.
Uh
You
huh.
might want to look that. You might want to pull that up.
Okay. Let me get that for everyone here. Sorry if you hear me all. Okay. Wait. Why was I thinking it's not a spell card? Is that right that
It's
it's a spell?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I thought it was something different. Okay, go ahead though.
Well, give it a good read. I'm sure this is the first time, one of the first
Okay.
times you're seeing.
So your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same card type, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, or Link, and then shuffle it into the deck. Okay, yes, I have seen this before. Go ahead and explain exactly how you're going to use this then.
So because your deck is so relaxed, like you don't need a whole lot of your extra deck to matter. So I was debating like side decking those like a playset, just because like I mentioned, I didn't have the Dark Magician Girl Knight thing, and then you don't need the gravity controller. So there's two slots right there. So
Okay.
you can put in a Frame Lord Omega for synchro target.
Oh, yes. Okay, okay.
And then you can put in an Xyz. The one I liked the most in testing does not work for this deck, which was totally awesome because it would trigger just putting itself back in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'd probably still run the Toad, just because it's an infinite.
Oh,
You
no,
can
that
just
makes complete sense. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
so you can shuffle back Xyz, Synchro, Link, and Fusion.
Wow. Wow, that's good. It's pretty good. Okay. And then of course Dragoon, no explanation needed. Same
Dragoon.
thing with the Dark Magicians. I'm sure both of these were just great when they came up.
Yes. The only thing I wanted to say that's kind of insane is if you get the ability to stack your deck with Soul Servant,
Uh-huh.
um, in the grave, if you banish Soul Servant to draw cards, you can chain the Dark Magicians to it. So you would draw an additional card. So
Oh.
if you stack a card you want to activate off of that, Dark Magicians will activate the card you stacked.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But then you get to draw a brand new card. So that's kind of cool. And then against
That's
Dragon Link,
amazing.
the reason why I was saying it was kind of free is because Super Poly, if they do anything, if they try to interact with you at all while you have a Dark Magician up and you have a Super Poly, you literally take any of their big dragons, Dark Magician, and that's a Dragoon.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, just amazing, Casey. I love it. I love it. Before we had went live, I was talking with you about Raigeki. I see 3 of this everywhere. And what were you saying is the reason?
It's really good against Flunder. It's pretty decent at just cracking regular boards.
Mm-hmm.
It takes away a lot of what people would use, and this isn't a deck where you can discard a lot
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard to get some of your resources back. It kind of reminds me in a weird way of Mermail, how you have to go negative first in order to get a lot of cards.
Yeah.
And so the way this deck counters the meta is very weird. The spot removal that it has and offers is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my deck doesn't lose the Mystic Mine. It doesn't lose the Dark Ruler no more. It doesn't lose.
Yeah.
DD Crow can come up if I get both the Dark
I was
Magicians.
just wondering that because if they get rid of your Dark Magicians, I think that becomes a huge issue.
Right. So the idea behind it is at that point, you're never trying to use Eternals. So, like, you don't want to use your trap.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a Crow, or if they have access to Crow, like post side deck. That's why I have Monster Reborn. That's why I have Magician Souls effect to Monster Reborn, the Dark Magicians.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if they go chain DD Crow, I can chain my trap and summon the Dark Magician back.
Oh, makes complete sense. Wow, awesome.
So you have to balance it out. It's different.
But I love that it's different. Okay, so the Gozen match. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So I can just picture your opponent's reactions when you would flip something like this. And it doesn't hurt you at all.
No, this is for Sprite mainly. So Sprite is dark and fire, and then they play the water package usually.
Okay.
And also this beats the Venture package for the most part.
Ooh, that's really good. Yes. I like that quite a bit. Then you've got the 3 evenly matched, which I think is very interesting. Then, of course, Demise of the Land. That gets to the Mystic Mine Hate. And
the Village.
Yes, or the Village, depending on what you're playing. And then you've got the Solemn Judgment. So, Casey, where are the flex spots? Because this main deck looks so tight to me.
Oh no, there's plenty of room. So most of the matchups, I don't side any more than 6 cards.
Okay, so where are those 6 flex spots then?
So as I mentioned earlier, Illusion of Chaos, it really pivots what you side out based off of who's going first and whatnot.
Okay.
So, well, let's take. I don't want to give up matchup, like what I would do for certain matchups. But if you're going second, you don't want Metaverse. You don't want to draw that card.
Uh-huh.
You know, if Secret Village is spellcasters, so like let's say you're playing against a spellcaster deck, you're obviously not going to want to play that card,
right? Because
so
then, yeah.
Out with the set rotation, you would just take those out.
Okay.
Going first, you would take out Mystic Mine usually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Unless the card is insane against the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So I would leave one in sometimes. It just depends. Again, the matchups. If Secret Village is great, then you're probably going to leave in one mine so that you
Okay.
can side in your demise of land.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
So if things go wrong, you can demise of the land into Mystic Mine and give yourself.
No, that makes complete sense. Wow. Well, wow. So Casey, I love it, man. I mean, this again, I still can't get over my reaction of instant laughter because this shouldn't happen was my first thought. And then for my son to have the exact same response. I mean, literally. And then he just assumed, well, he must be playing against new people, or maybe they're playing bad decks. And then when I'm like, no, they're legit. Like, these are really good players. And then to see what you put together here, man, I'm so impressed. What a build. So,
Thanks.
guys, if you want to see more builds from KCS Games, let me know in the comments below. If you have questions for him, please let us know. We're real good about me texting him. He gets back to me. And of course, I'm always going to shout out his channel. I know he hasn't updated recently, but he's got great stuff that on there, especially if you're doing GOAT format. You got to check out what he's done there. It's good stuff. So again, Casey, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun. And like I said, it was just a little project because a guy at Locals said that it sucked. So I want to prove him wrong.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time.
Next challenge. I know that you'll be back.